Shalom, WJC family. It's time for our weekly Torah talk. This week in Shul, we'll be starting a brand new book of the Torah, the middle book, Vayikra. And it starts out with a litany of sacrifices, of offerings we're supposed to bring to God. And in the second verse of the entire book, it says, Adam ki akriv michem korban lashem. When a person offers from themselves, it's tough to translate, which is actually the whole idea. Adam, when a person, yakriv, will bring mikem, from you, korban, a sacrifice, lashem, to God. So, what's interesting here is the word korban. Yakriv korban. That root in Hebrew, karov, means to draw close. So what is it about animal sacrifice in this sake that's going to make you close to God? And the Rav Ovadia Yosef, very famous Sephardic rabbi in Israel, chief rabbi of Israel, uses this pasuk and a parable to try and help us understand a little bit about what it means to bring from ourselves to God. He taught about a person walking into a department store looking for a mirror. And he says, give me your finest mirror. And the salesperson brings a mirror, and the person looks at it, and he says, this mirror is no good. I don't like it. And the salesperson says, what's wrong with the mirror? And the person says, the image is all, it doesn't look right to me. So the salesperson takes a good look at the person in front of him and realizes that the person is dirty, their clothes are disheveled, they don't seem like they've taken a shower in a long time, they haven't shaved, they're just complete mess. Maybe their clothes have like stains on them, they haven't changed in a while. And the person says, it's not the mirror that's making the image strange. It's you. Go home. Take a shower, get dressed, change your clothes, clean yourself up, and then come back and look in the mirror and you tell me if the image is right. I think you'll see a more appealing image. Ovadia Yosef teaches us that is how this works with God also. It's kind of a cliche, but maybe one we should think about a little bit more, that what we put into a relationship is what we get out of a relationship. And Ovadia Yosef says that's the meaning of this pasuk, that's true with God also. It's not good enough just to bring a korban, to bring this offering, to bring this sacrifice, to bring this, closeness-making, sacrifice. We would use prayer in this. It's not enough just to recite the prayers. That's not enough. That's not going to do it. In fact, we have to bring yakriv mikem. Bring yourself close. And only in bringing yourself close will God come and meet us. And Ovadia Yosef says this is also the meaning of ani ledodi v'dodi li. I am for my beloved. Famous quote from Shir HaShirim, from the Song of Songs, this love poem, which the rabbis interpret as a love poem between God and the Jewish people. Ani ledodi, I am for my beloved, v'dodi li, and my beloved is for me. Meaning, what I bring to my beloved, how I approach my beloved, how I approach God is how I will feel God approaching me right back. The mirror is of our own making. We need to polish the mirror. We need to bring ourselves close to God in earnestness, in reality, not just going through the motions. I'm supposed to go to shul, so I'll go to shul. I'm supposed to say the Shema, so I'm going to say the Shema. But to make ourselves vulnerable and to say, I am going to genuinely reach out to God. And I'm going to do that not only through my prayers, but as we were taught by our great master Abraham Joshua Heschel and others when he described his marching with Martin Luther King Jr., he said, we marched across the bridge and it was like my legs were praying. Right? Our actions can bring us closer to God, should bring us closer to God when we dedicate them to God, when we dedicate them to God's creation. But whether it's prayer, whether it's action, whether it's how we treat other people, all of that requires kavanah, requires intention, requires us, unlike the man in the store, to bring the best of ourselves to that relationship. To believe that if we do, to trust that God will respond. That not only will we present a better image of ourselves, but we will receive back a better image of God and of the world. Right? God doesn't change, but a clearer image, right? The mirror will be clearer. The mirror will give us what we're looking for. A pathway to holiness, a pathway to a sense of goodness in this world, a pathway to that connection to the divine and to the sacred that we not only desire up here, but that our hearts and our neshamas are crying out for that connection. It's there for us. The question is not to ask, why, God, are you so distant from me? But why am I not able to genuinely and in earnestness find my way to bring myself closer to God? And then it's faith, and then it's trust that God will come back and meet us halfway. That's what this book of Vayikra is all about. That's what Adam ki yakriv mikem, from yourself. Korban, when you bring of yourself, you receive back of God, and you'll have that sense. May we all see that crystal clear image of the divine in our lives, reflected on others, reflected in ourselves, reflected in our approach to prayer and our approach to gimilut chasadim, to acts of righteousness and loving kindness, in our response to the things in the world that trouble us. When we infuse holiness and sacredness and goodness, we'll find that we are not alone in that project, that in fact we have brought ourselves closer to God and God closer to all in this world. May we fulfill that speedily in our days. Shabbat Shalom.